Hey guys, welcome back to Comic Tunes. My name is Russ. Hope you're all doing well. Sorry it's been a while since my last video. Just moved into a new home about 4 or 5 weeks ago, and this is my new man cave that we're filming from. So we're going to have a new backdrop for my videos going forward. I do have a back patio that's screened in, and probably eventually I'll be shooting from there. So stay tuned for that. But I decided to shoot indoors today and just try to see how this lighting and backdrop does. But anyway, on to the records. Went to one of my local record stores today and picked up two $3 records. The first one was Frank Marino, and it's Juggernaut. And don't know if you're familiar with this record, but it came out in the early 80s. Frank Marino, just a really great guitar player. I believe he's from Canada. This is a gold step promo, if you can see that there on the back. But I picked this up because I was curious what it kind of was by the front cover and whatnot, and figured it would be rock. And they have some listening stations there, and put it on the turntable and was really surprised at how good it really was, and just the sound. It was mastered at Sterling Sound by George Marino, who is my favorite mastering engineer of all time. So once I put the needle on, man, this thing just leapt out of the speakers, and just excited to get it home to play it on my system later tonight. But cool find, $3 for Frank Marino. So cool there. Next, I think I've seen Aramutha Alamare show this particular band before, Man of War, and this is Fighting the World. This is my first Man of War record, but when I saw it, I knew I had to pick it up and check it out. I'd really not listened to much of their stuff before, but I think Aaron's maybe done a needle drop or two before on this, if I'm not mistaken. But good stuff. According to Discogs, it's one of the first really heavy metal records, besides I believe Iron Maiden, maybe, that was recorded and mixed and I guess mastered digitally. And so this is really cool here. And again, great sound from this. Howie Weinberg from Masterdisc mastered this. So for $3, the cover's not in the best shape. You can see where somebody, I think, pinned it up there, and kind of rough around the edges. Vinyl doesn't look all that great, but plays well enough. The median on Discogs for this is $35. So just thought it'd be fun to have it in my collection, and for $3, when I was willing to take the chance on it. So that was the other one I grabbed today. I went to an estate sale back last weekend, and was not able to make it on Saturday when they started, but got there on last Sunday, and they had everything marked down half off. So the records were marked at $1, and so I got them for 50 cents each. So here's a few that I grabbed from that estate sale. Dakota Staten, and I think I saw someone feature this recently, but this is Time to Swing. And the reason I got this particular one is check this out on the ensemble that she's got as far as the musicians on this record. It's on trumpets is Taft Jordan, Joe Wilder; saxes Ray Beckenstein, George Berg, Don Hammond, Al Johnson, Jerome Richardson, and Bill Woods. Oboe and flute, Romeo Panique. On piano, Hank Jones, who we all know from the jazz world. Bass, George DeVivier. Drums, Don Lamond. And on guitar, a guy named Ken Burrell. So Kenny Burrell, one of my favorite guitarists of all time, and especially in the jazz world. But just seeing that, figured I'd give it a shot. Dakota's voice, I've played this a little bit. Dakota's voice, a really good voice. The recording on this is surprisingly not all that great, but it sounds like it's from the early 60s. So, but cool to have, for 50 cents. I got one more by her. I haven't listened to this yet. It's called Dynamic. So, looking forward to listening to that. It doesn't say who plays on this with her, so interested to dig more into that. But it was in pretty decent shape, so I figured I would get that for 50 cents as well. Sometimes I like getting these old Columbia orchestral type, records, and this is Percy Faith and Mitch Miller. And so Mitch Miller is on the English horn and oboe, but I really like the oboe a lot, and so and I like Percy Faith. One of my favorite Christmas records is the Percy Faith Orchestra. So thought I'd give this a shot. And these old Columbias usually sound great, and this is no exception here. It sounds really good. I'll show you it's on the really old school Columbia label. But yeah, in really good shape there. And it actually has it's got a deep groove there. So you don't see, or I don't see that particular label all that often. That is an old Columbia there. So cool for 50 cents. Here's another one that I found there that is really awesome to come across. Bill Evans, Alone. This came out in the late 70s, and this is just solo Bill Evans. This is called Alone Again, in parentheses. You can barely see it right there. But so Alone Again, I think this came out in 77 or 78. But really cool. I've listened to this once, or at least side one, and it's just really good, playing by Bill, of course, and just cool to hear him, by himself. I do really like him in a trio setting, and of course, a quartet or quintet. But cool to find this for 50 cents, and glad to add it to the collection. Here's one. Just kind of took a chance on this based on the cover, and I may have seen someone show this in the VC before, but this is the Youngbloods, and this is their get together, their first album. Really impressed by this record and this band. Believe Jesse Colin Young, is that it? Yeah, Jesse Colin Young is in this band, who went on to have a solo career. But if you've never heard this before, it's just really good 60s kind of garage rock. But man, the whole thing, top to bottom, is awesome. So if you can find this, and the sound quality is actually pretty good on this for it being a late 60s, RCA Victor. I've heard that the mono sounds a little bit better, supposedly. But this is a stereo, and it sounds fine. And again, I paid 50 cents for it. So, but I'm going to look out for a mono copy of this. But really enjoyed this record. So if you ever run across this one, grab it. I believe also the cover. This is a kind of unique cover for this particular album. There's another cover that's got kind of the guys in the band, their faces, and it's in like I think orange and yellow and kind of blue tones. But at any rate, if you come across this, grab it. It's good. All right, here's another one that just kind of took a chance on based on the players. This is Thad Jones and Mel Lewis. This is Potpourri, and I just looked on the back here when I was there at the estate sale, and I saw that Pepper Adams plays baritone sax on here. Let's see. I don't know if I recognized really anybody else or not. I don't believe so, but saw him featured on here, and was willing to give this a try. But I've listened to this already, and I would say definitely Potpourri is a fitting name for this album. This this album is really all over the place. You know, it features kind of a big band, but it really, you know, they feature really different kinds of music, and it's, you know, anything from bop to modal to post bop, and a really cool record. So I think if you ever run across this, check it out. This is a Gold Stack promo copy, but sounds good, and glad to have it in the collection. So, all right, here was one I picked up. This is kind of a little EP, and it's Erasure. It's got Drama, Sweet Sweet Baby, and Paradise on there. Sounds really good. So I like some of Erasure stuff, so I just grabbed that. Here's a really cool one. Randall Bramblett, Light of the Night. And Randall, I know his playing from the band Sea Level, which is got Richard Lavelle in it, and he plays. So Randall Bramblett plays sax in that band, and also plays saxophone on this. And yeah, Chuck Lavelle plays on this, the keyboards on this, and I think some of the other players from Sea Level are kind of helping him out on this. This came out in the kind of the mid '70s, but really cool. Just kind of blues rock, kind of southern rock. If you like, you know, Allman Brothers, Leonard Skinner, and if you like Sea Level as well, you'll like this record. But was glad to come across that for 50 cents, and want to look out for some more of his stuff. But really good record here. Take a chance on it if you see it out there. All right, and the last one from that estate sale was this thing is beat up, but Dusty Springfield, A Brand New Me. The cover has seen better days, but the vinyl is okay. But don't have any Dusty Springfield in my collection, and so I wanted to grab this, even though it's pretty much shot. But again, like I said, the vinyl is okay, and it's on the Atlantic label there. So want to get some more of her other stuff. I'd like to just, you know, to find the just kind of an OG copy in the wild of her other stuff. But this is, her voice is amazing, and glad to pick this up for cheap. So 50 cents. Here's show you a couple that I found recently at a thrift store, and I believe Richard Riley showed this recently on his. I think he did a space jazz kind of episode, but I've never seen this in the wild, and saw his video, and then found this, you know, a couple weeks later. But crazy how that happens. But this is Esquivel and his orchestra. This is Infinity in Sound. Really cool cover there. And again, it's on the living stereo, so, you know, this thing sounds awesome, and pumped to find this. Really cool, out there, kind of Latin, just really kind of, you know, almost tinging on acid type jazz at the orchestral level. So hard to explain. Just check it out if you ever get a chance. Stream it, but really cool. Album. It goes typically for about I think $10 to $15, but at the thrift store I got this for $1. So cool to add that to the collection. And this other one that one of the other ones that I found, you know, record collecting can be cruel sometimes. You know, so one of the grails I have is this particular record, and flipped to it, and this is an original Elvis, you know, Christmas album in mono. The booklet is complete and everything in there. I won't take this out just for time's sake, but opened it up. You know, this feels heavy because it's a sturdy cover and everything. But opened it up and looked in there, and the record was not in the dead gum thing. So at any rate, I really wanted the cover, so I got the cover to add to the collection. But so I'm still looking for an OG mono of just the Elvis Christmas album. Thought I'd finally been able to mark that off my list, but to no avail, and was just really really bummed that it was not there. But again, just stoked to kind of have the OG cover. I have the 50th anniversary reissue that's on a green vinyl, and it sounds okay, but not that great. But they reconstructed the cover and the booklet and everything, so I've kind of got that. But it's cool to have the original, of course, and not in the best shape, but it's still intact, and the booklet is in great shape. So glad to have that, and hopefully I'll find the record soon. Let's see. Okay, here's another cool find that I found it actually at Second and Charles, and I love this record. This is Poco Legend, and just a great record if you're not familiar with it. But Poco, very similar to in the vein of Eagles and some of those bands like that. But I'd had a copy that was an MCA copy that was mastered by in the Dead Wax. It's DWJ, and so that's Daryl Johnson, and supposedly in the notes on Discogs for my version, it was cut at the JVC, some new JVC plan, and they did high-speed mastering on that particular version. And listening to it, it was in great shape. I got it for cheap, and I thought it sounded wonderful. And came across this one at Second Charles a couple weeks ago, and the first thing that caught my eye was just the cover was different. This is glossy. My cover was just white background, but this has kind of got a kind of a sunset, I guess, kind of look to it. Some kind of color here on the outside. It is a gold stamp promo, but it's got a glossy finish, and did notice that it had the ABC on the back. So I looked further. I was looking at the vinyl, and in the Dead Wax on the vinyl was master disc, and so I looked, and on side 2 it's got master disc, and of all things it's got RL in the Dead Wax, and so I was shocked about that. So it's in great shape. So I snagged it, brought it home, and this thing, I did a shootout with my other one, and this thing blows that MCA version away. So if you find an early copy, so this is again on the kind of that rainbow ABC label, check the Dead Wax, and hopefully you'll find one that's master disc and got RL in the etchings. But this thing, just the clarity of it compared to that other one, I could tell the other one was really, in some aspects, was muddy, actually, especially the acoustic guitars. This thing is just actually a little bit on the hot side. I wouldn't say it's sibilant, but it really has a great sound stage, and just the clarity of the instruments is unlike that other pressing. So great record, top to bottom, and so great sounding, and just glad to have it. This will be my kind of end-all be-all. I've heard the MoFi is a good version to have, but I would find it hard to believe that it can beat this master disc mastered version. So pumped to find that. And then lastly, I was at an antique mall north of Birmingham back, it's been probably 2 months ago now. And you just never know what you'll find in just random places. This was outside of Birmingham in a smaller town, and I was about to leave, and I was looking through some glass cases there that were locked up, and one of the glass cases had some records in it. And at the bottom of this glass case was a record that I couldn't believe that I was seeing, and it was this here. I'll show you the sleeve that it came in, but you can tell cover's a little bit beat here on the top and whatnot. I'll show you the sleeve that it came in. and it is so. It says original 1959 CS 8163 issue 6i 6i label cover G plus vinyl VG plus. So that's what it said on the outside of it, and of course here's the price with the item number, and it's if you can see that, $32. So I grabbed one of the attendants there at the front desk and said, "Hey, can I take a look at that record?" And she pulled it out, and first thing I take out, and I see here's the cover, and on the bottom taped up, this thing is pretty beat and got a name across the top. But I looked on Discogs and looking at the original 6i stereo, and they were mentioning it's got a 4 in the bottom corner here, so that matched up. Also, Flamenco Sketches and All Blues is reversed here on the cover, which is an error, and so that was matching up with an original, and so took the record out, and it actually came in the original plastic sleeve that Columbia provided back then. I've got it in another sleeve now, but here's the record, and in the original sleeve it was dirty, but I could tell that underneath the dirt that it really was at least a VG plus copy. I could not see hardly any hairlines at all, really not many imperfections whatsoever, but just you can tell there the center label there is perfect. The spindle hole is intact and not obliterated in any way, and just was really, I think played maybe a few times and then put up, who knows, in some sort of storage. So it did get dirty from just having that old kind of nasty, plastic sleeve on it. But got it home and cleaned it up, and man, this thing sounds incredible. It really does, and just really glad to have it in the collection. Now I'll show you. I have the mono version. This is upside down. This is the way it came, but and then the one that Ryan K. Smith did, and it's a great version, and I do like the mono, but it really is cool to hear the stereo version of it, and you can just really hear the room, and man, I just never thought that I would come across an original kind of blue, and especially for $32. With tax it was $35. So these things go for $200 on up, and so eventually I'll be on the hunt for an OG pretty clean cover to kind of match up with it, but that's the least I'm worried about. As we say, you can't play the cover, so just glad to own an original, and so I can mark it off of my list. But definitely a GRAIL that I acquired, but glad to have that. But just want to show you those records, and take some time to do that, and I hope everyone's well out there. Hope to see you again soon. Take care, and talk to you later.